Welcome to the Natural Health Show with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincola. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Greetings and welcome home, Natural Health Nation. Hope you're having a happy, healthy, safe Labor Day weekend. It is lovely out there, and summer coming to an all too sudden close, but you know how that works. It seems to fly by every year. We often this time of year have an awful lot of complaints regarding things like sneezing, headaches, stuffy nose, fatigue. A lot of folks out there wandering around with some very severe allergies. And I trust a lot of you are contending with a lot of the ragweed that is out there right now, as are 35 to 50 million Americans, depending on whose statistics you embrace. But an awful lot of people, suffice it to say, are again stumbling about these days with stuffy nose, sneezing, headaches, fatigue. Perhaps the worst of those symptoms being the fatigue factor that so many people are experiencing these days. But, there are solutions. We're going to talk about that. There are safe, natural solutions. But when you think about 35 to 50 million Americans suffering from these annual conditions, and ragweed is indeed an annual, it's a summer annual, then, we're talking about something that produces over 1 billion, yes, I said billion with a B, 1 billion allergy-triggering pollen grains per plant. Now, there are millions and millions of ragweed plants. There are trillions of ragweed plants out there, each one producing over 1 billion grains of pollen. That is just astounding. And furthermore, depending on prevailing winds, we're talking about pollen that can travel up to 400 miles. So there is an incredible force of pollen out there between the middle of August and, hey, listen, the season is supposedly originating from the middle of August, around the 15th or thereabouts of August, the middle of August, until the first killing frost. Well, the first killing frost, of course, has been moved back, it seems, because of warming trends. So the idea of killing frost being, maybe early October, middle October, not so much anymore. A recent study from one of the state universities of New York, recently established that the ragweed season is now extending anywhere from 90 to 105 days in the Northeast. 90 to 105 days of ragweed. So an awful lot of folks, of course, used to having to suffer through this experience long enough, when you get into October. But when you're getting into late November, have we had enough or what? So we're looking at late November as a potential problem for this ragweed business. Late November, third week of November, not what we really have in mind. So there's an awful lot of natural solutions. We're going to talk about three in particular this evening. We're going to also talk about a nutritional approach. German researchers very recently did some research on ragweed, establishing that you and I can make a significant difference with our ragweed problems based on what we eat, and the idea of course, increasing the omega-3s in our diet, the fatty fish, the soy products, the walnuts, the pumpkin seeds, the wild fish, the wild fish as opposed to farm-raised fish. And, we're talking about getting those omega-3s up from an anti-inflammatory perspective. So this German study that was recently done established that when you and I are consuming a high omega-3 diet and supporting our anti-inflammatory chemistry, that we have a great capability of lowering our response and increasing our resistance to a ragweed and ragweed symptoms. Again, those symptoms are stuffy nose, sinus problems, fatigue factor, headaches, migraines. And again, it is a very serious issue for an awful lot of folks out there. And a lot of folks, of course, relying upon things like Claritin and Zyrtec, but not without side effects, not without the drowsiness that often accompanies those antihistamines. So there are natural solutions we're going to talk about this evening, and they are solutions that provide one with response equal to the Zyrtecs and the Claritins of the world without side effects. According to Swiss research, there are natural products that you and I can make use of that will produce the same positive anti-allergenic effects, giving us relief from the symptoms of ragweed allergies, but without the drowsiness, without the negative side effects. We're going to talk about that. And again, the dietary component is also an important aspect of this issue as well. But we're talking again about 35 to 50 million Americans with this very serious problem. And we're also here, of course, as we are each and every Sunday, to take your calls regarding natural medicine, vitamin, mineral, diet type issues, weight loss questions, etc. So we're here to answer your questions regarding your health issues from a natural perspective, to answer your questions regarding natural medicine, vitamins, minerals, health store issues, and diet, etc. So if you're interested in having those questions answered in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, it is a free call. Just dial pound 969. One of the other things I like to mention, too, with ragweed allergies is there's a new study that suggests that along with ragweed allergies is a higher risk factor for what are called oral food allergies. That is the tendency to have itchy, swelling problems around the mouth area where there's a lot of inflammation around the mouth from folks that are eating bananas, melons, zucchini, cucumbers, etc. So a lot of folks are familiar with that. By eating those foods, they get a lot of swelling and itching around the mouth and a lot of inflammation orally, and that's very troublesome. I hear those complaints quite often. But that specific problem is now being directly correlated with these ragweed allergies. So as the ragweed allergies go, so go those oral allergies as well. So there's compounding here from ragweed allergies. And again, I think the real problem is the immune system that gets absolutely ransacked by these allergies, and it indeed does. So important to have strategies that can help boost our precious immune system and support us in the obvious peak season that we're dealing with right now. We are definitely in the middle of peak ragweed season. Again, our phone call, we're looking for your phone calls, rather, in Boston, New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless uses free call. Just dial pound 969. We'll look forward to your calls, and we'll be happy to answer your questions regarding anything related to ragweed allergies or related to natural medicine in any way, shape, or form. A lot of questions regarding vitamins, minerals, etc. You are listening to The Natural Health Show. My name is Mark Mincola, and we'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Play it again. Audio on demand. Podcasting now at 96.9 BostonTalks.com.
The brain requires nutrition just like the rest of the body. Although many of us depend upon caffeine for focus and concentration, caffeine is not actually a nutrient. Real nutrition is needed to enhance brain metabolism and provide antioxidant protection. This is where Jarrow Formula's Neuro Optimizer comes to the rescue. Neuro Optimizer is a concentrated source of the nutrients needed for memory and mood, for concentration and focus, all without being a stimulant. Neuro Optimizer supplies the building blocks for neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow cells in the brain to communicate and to file away memories. Acetyl L-carnitine and alpha-lipoic acid support brain energy production. Phosphatidylserine, L-glutamine, and taurine enhance brain stability and detoxification in the face of stress. Neuro Optimizer is the nutritional answer to the brain's needs. Ask for Neuro Optimizer at your local health food store, or for more information, go to jarrow.com. That's JARROW for the best in brain health formulas.
Do you own or manage a natural health, fitness, day spa, or go green business? Perhaps you have a unique restaurant that offers healthy entrees, heart-smart seafood, vegetarian or lighter fare options. I invite you to share your vision and deliver your message directly to health-conscious New Englanders by becoming a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, New England's #1 health radio show. The Natural Health Show is now welcoming potential sponsors to join our natural health family by offering a number of creative and flexible sponsorship packages. For information on how to become a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, simply call Candida at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Be a part of New England's natural health revolution. Join our Natural Health Show family today.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. It's back to school again, and now more than ever is the time to think healthy. Nutrition experts know that 70% of the human immune system resides in the belly, so eating healthy and taking the correct probiotic is important. Don't be fooled by all those yogurt ads. The truth is, some yogurts do have small amounts of acidophilus, but they also have sugars and extra calories. There's no substitute for the real thing. Everyone in your family will benefit from probiotics. They improve digestion, metabolism, skin health, and general detoxification. Come see us in Quincy and Hanover. We're online at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Visit our children's sections and ask about Nature's Plus Animal Parade Gold Chewables with probiotics and vitamin D, and our delicious chewable greens for kids. Pick up some antibacterial products and eco-friendly lunch totes. This fall, protect your whole family naturally with Megaflora, New Chapter, and Renew Life probiotics. Good Health Natural Foods, where back to school is stress-free and affordable. Come by and see us today, and thanks for listening.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call, pound 969. Hey, let's go to Cheryl from Revere. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks from the Natural Health Show.
Hi, how you doing?
Terrific. How are you?
Good. I just had a quick question.
Sure.
Is there any particular supplement or vitamin that would take care of any inflammation in your body at all? Or are there just certain ones that just particularly zone in on one area that's inflammation? Like, not joints in particular, but... Mm-hmm. Any inflammation in your body is good to take?
Yeah, that's a really, really, really good question, actually. And the answer is actually pretty simple, that, we used to think of inflammation as something that was very specific and sort of relegated to, let's say, bursitis or something like that. We had a very sort of limited view of it. But in the last 10 to 15 years, a lot of the research has really expanded dramatically in this area of inflammation, and we're finding now that inflammation is more broad-based in the body, and so is anti-inflammation. So, when you think about using something like Zyflamend, which is a great product by New Chapter, Zyflamend is a really terrific natural anti-inflammatory. Okay. I usually recommend 4 of those a day, but obviously, fish oils like 3,000 omega-3s, flax, some ground flax added to your food, a couple tablespoons of ground flax added to food. Also, spices are extremely anti-inflammatory. Great research at the Strain Cancer Institute, for example, down in New York, that's showing that turmeric, rosemary, oregano, really powerful anti-inflammatories as well.
Can you get them in a capsule type thing if you don't want to add them to your food?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, turmeric is something that's generally packaged in 500 milligram capsules, and a lot of folks are using let's say 4 of those a day, or 2,000 milligrams of turmeric a day. So absolutely, you can get those in capsules as well. And last but not least, keep this in mind too, that inflammation is generated through fats. That inflammation is mediated through hormones. We used to think, again, of hormones as just being gender-based kind of chemistries, but they're not just gender-based. You've got eicosanoids that are inflammatory agents that are pretty much prostaglandin generated. So it's kind of like saying that different fats that we eat, when we eat a lot of red meat, eat a lot of egg yolks, dairy products, and peanuts, those produce prostaglandin 2s in the body, and those set up those channels for inflammatory hormone expression in the body. So by avoiding those foods and by using those great spices, we just talked about the turmeric, the rosemary, the oregano, by taking 4 Zyflamend a day, 3,000 fish oil, a couple tablespoons of flax, you will definitely make a difference at the end of a month.
And stop eating my eggs every day.
Well, you can eat your egg whites, but you got to be careful of those yolks.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for calling. All right, let's go to Tom from Rockland. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks from the Natural Health Show.
Thank you, Mark. We're on the subject of turmeric.
Yep.
I deal with multiple sclerosis, and I have a bad back. Mm-hmm. And I also deal with a lot of pain.
Right.
And somebody that was having trouble with fibro or whatever it was.
Fibromyalgia, probably.
Yes. And she was taking turmeric and said got great results. For someone like me, and I'm 6'4", about 220, How much of that should I take? And does it make a difference where I get it from?
Well, for starters, it kind of reverts back to Cheryl's question that, again, where we want to emphasize the point that inflammation really is more of a broad spectrum problem in the body, and that there are different channels of inflammation. There's hormones like thromboxanes that will inflame the blood, create a heavy clotting factor. There are hormones like leukotriene, B4 hormones that, will increase pain, inflammation, and that sort of business, especially a lot of nerve and tissue pain. So, there's hydroxylated fatty acids, lipoxins, all these different hormones that really cause all kinds of different problems, perhaps with immunity in one case, or tissue, nerve, blood. So, but again...
Are you saying I should get a hormone test?
No. What I'm saying is that the real good news here is that one anti-inflammatory, let's say for example ginger or turmeric, like you brought up,
right,
is really good for virtually all those systems, and it's actually going to help support the anti-inflammatory properties of your chemistries within the realm of all those different system possibilities. So somebody could have a number of different inflammatory problems going off, but again, to use turmeric, great idea. To use ginger, great idea. But my feelings are that the more you really, the more you message your body, the more you actually send signals to your body through your food, which is it's like kind of like reformatting or programming your body biochemically. To use maybe 500 milligram. I told you capsules of the curcumin, the turmeric, or 500 milligrams. So to use 2 of those like twice a day, to give you 2,000 milligrams of turmeric, great idea. But to add to your diet, the idea of using more ginger tea, for example, or to use more rosemary in your cooking and more oregano.
And I'm using omega-3 fish oil right now. I'm taking 2,000 in the morning, 2,000 in the evening.
Great. That's fine. And also, don't forget to, I mentioned Zyflamend, which I think is a great product. Zyflamend is a terrific anti-inflammatory product. And
is that a mixture of different things, or is it just...
It's exactly what it does. It has a number of different herbal anti-inflammatory agents in there. It's got some ginger and a number of other things in there that are really very effective at producing an anti-inflammatory chemistry. So, great product. I'd use 4 of those a day in line with the fish oils and the turmeric that you're talking about using. And again, don't forget the dietary component here, the idea that you want to basically keep low on red meat, egg yolks, dairy, and peanuts, because if you're sending your body one set of messages with foods to inflame, and then you're giving yourself all these anti-inflammatory spices and whatnot, you're kind of canceling it out. So you want to take a good month to really convince your body.
Could you spell that Z product you're talking about?
Yeah, Zyflamend, Zyflamend.
Okay,
and that's made by Neuro Chapter. Neuro Chapter is Zyflamend, great product. And I found it very, very effective with a lot of patients. Works great.
Awesome. I'll talk to you in 30 days.
All right. Thanks so much for calling.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, let's get to, let's see, how about Melissa in Boston? Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk. You're in the Natural Health Show.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Pleasure.
I'm really glad you're talking about this subject because I thought I was going crazy. And in the spring and in the fall, I get really sick and really fatigued, and I have horrible flu-like symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm exhausted, and I just don't know what to do. And one person had recommended, go get allergy shots every day for 100 days, and then you'll be free of all allergies. But I don't know what to do, just sort of don't know where to go with this.
Well, there certainly is relief. Relief is on the way, and in the form of 3 bits of advice here. Actually, four bits of advice. Okay. Number 1, there's a great deal of research, the most recent being Swiss research, that talks about butterbur, the herb Butterbur, butterbur. It's spells just like it sounds.
Okay.
But in their research, they found that 325 milligrams, which is not very much, but 325 milligrams of butterbur was as effective as Zyrtec.
Okay.
So there's one really good bit of information, but I think you're going to generally find butterbur in about 150 to 175 milligram capsules. So I'd just tell you to take 2 capsules twice, and that's butterbur. And of course, herbs are generally better, more efficient, I should say, better absorbed, more efficiently absorbed on an empty stomach. So I would say get your butterbur caps 2 twice, 2 in the mid-morning, 2 in the mid-afternoon. Also, I like to recommend stinging nettle, 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 and those are 500 milligram caps, and again, 2 twice, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, again, empty stomach. And you can take these together, and that's a natural histamine that's been proven time and time again in study after study to be, again, as effective as a lot of the over-the-counter allergy medications, but without the drowsiness, which is kind of attractive.
Okay.
And finally, something that I've talked about a number of times in the Natural Health Show that I'm really very much on board with, and it's called Quercetin, Quercetin, Quercetin. And quercetin really shuts down the mast cell production of histamines in the body.
Okay.
So we have a number of different immune cells called mast cells that, when there's an allergen in the body, produce a tremendous amount of these ugly sort of effects, these nasty effects or side effects, these horrible symptoms that we experience. So what the quercetin has been shown to do in study after study is to shut down the mast cell production of histamines and therefore cut down on those horrible symptoms. So again, that's a 500 milligram cap, and I'd say the same thing there 2 twice. So I'm going to go over that one more time. There's 3 different natural medicines. Butter burr, and that's generally about 175 milligrams, and that'd be 2 twice. Empty stomach, morning, afternoon. Stinging nettle, Nettle, 500 milligrams, again, 2 twice, 2 morning, 2 afternoon, empty stomach, and together is fine. And last but not least, quercetin, Quercetin, which, by the way, is a food-grade natural medicine. Quercetin comes from yellow onions. It's a flavonoid that comes from a lot of berries and fruits and citrus. So quercetin is really super supportive from the antihistamine perspective. Again, it shuts down mast cell production. So 500 milligrams of that, 2 mid-morning, 2 mid-afternoon, all taken together, safely done.
Do you take these year-round?
No, again, in terms of the ragweed we're talking about right now in particular, the ragweed season really goes from mid-August, which we're right in the middle of right now, early September, so mid-August right up until, in some cases, that killing frosts, which may delay late October, early November. But, as soon as you get that killing frost, I think you're pretty safe to get off these things.
And another question,
Sure.
Is it a result of, I never suffered, it only is when I got into my early 40s, which I'm 44, that I started getting these symptoms.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's because I might have a weaker immune system, because I'm 5 years from being in remission from cancer, and I went through a lot of chemo treatments. So I'm wondering, is it a result that I don't have a strong immune system, that I suffer more from allergies?
Well, something that's a very that's a very good educated guess on your part. But yes, I would tend to concur with your logic. I think you had great logic there, and I think that listen, first of all, as we age, I forget who it was years ago. They said that if you compare our immune system in its peak with the immune system just before we leave planet Earth, we lose about 800% of our immunity. So aging alone is going to produce a lot of wear and tear. Obviously, the more life we live, the more wear and tear there is, and a lot of adrenal stress. And again, the adrenal glands are our stress glands. They take a lot of hits, and we don't bounce back the same way in any system of our body. So, I think it's really important to take good care of ourselves, clearly, and we can make a difference in so doing. But there's no question about the fact that as we age, we lose a lot of that immunity. So I'm sure that's the case. And then again, someone like yourself who was doing battle with cancer and going through chemotherapy, et cetera, sure, that was a tremendously trying and depleting and draining experience. It's going to take a lot out of your immune system, no question about it. So great guess on your part. I agree with you. And I think these 3 supplements make a big difference.
One quick thing is,
sure.
I don't have like the runny and scratchy eyes and runny nose, but I get that horrible fatigue. I get a lot of postnasal drip, and I feel like I have the flu constantly.
Yeah, no, that's exactly one of our big points here on tonight's program, is that everybody's going to experience slightly different symptoms. Now, very rarely is some poor soul going to experience all of these, but they are out there. I'm sure there's folks out there that can concur that that's exactly what they're experiencing. But some folks are more inclined to get the stuffy nose, the sneezing. Other people are going to be more headachy. Some people more fatigued. It's going to be a little bit different from person to person. But if you find that you're dealing with that horrible depleting fatigue, you can bet on it. I think if you give these a try for maybe a month or so, I think you'll notice a big difference.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. And keep one other thing in mind, the diet, important too. The German study that tells us that omega-3s in the diet, fatty fish, soy products, being careful about the inflammatory foods, cutting down on the red meat, the egg yolks, the dairy products, and the peanuts, big difference makers as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I'm very aware of all that.
Great. Well, stay the course and take good care of yourself.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks for calling. All right, let's get to Charlie in Natick. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Oh, thank you very much. Look, I'm calling from a woman over 65 that has a calcium deposit in his shoulder, diagnosed probably 10 years ago by X-rays, and it's troubling more lately than it has in the past 10 years. So I wonder if you have any suggestions.
Well, those deposits as we age get a little bit more unruly, a little bit more difficult to really to manage. But, the most important thing is something called protease. And there are different types of enzymes. Protease is obviously a protein enzyme, and amylase is another enzyme, and lipase for fat, amylase for carb. So we got these three different primary categories of enzymes. But enzymes are like catalysts. They're almost like Pac-Man cells. They gobble things up. But what you want to do is direct these protease Pac-Man cells to these calcium deposits, because protease is looking for two things to gobble up. It's looking for protein to gobble, and it's looking for calcium to do the same thing. So, there's something called serrapeptase, serrapeptase. I've talked about it before. Serrapeptase, great anti-inflammatory protease that's going to look for proteins. It's going to look for inflammatory proteins. It's also going to look for calcification. So, you basically want to get after the serrapeptase. I like the one by Enzymedica, Enzymedica, Enzymedica.
Okay.
They make a real good serrapeptase, and that's
called serrapeptase?
Yeah, serrapeptase. 100,000 units. I'd recommend 3 a day on an empty stomach. Make sure you don't take it around mealtime.
Okay, 100,000 units 3 times a day on
an empty stomach. That's it.
Okay, and it's by Enzymedica?
Enzymedica.
Enzymedica.
That's it. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling. All right, we're right up against a break here. You're listening to the Natural Health Show on 96.9 Boston Talks. My name is Mark Mincola, and we're looking for your questions, of course, in Boston and New England. 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless uses free call pound at 96.9. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Strength, prosperity, dedication. This weekend, we celebrate the American worker. Happy Labor Day. 96.9 Boston Talks.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We're excited to partner with Life Extension, the industry leader in anti-aging and optimal health for over 30 years. Life Extension funds and reports scientific breakthroughs on anti-aging protocols and nutrition, then formulates cutting-edge supplements based on that successful clinical research. So when you purchase any science-based Life Extension supplement from Good Health, you can be sure of its potency, purity, and efficacy. They work. It's that simple. In fact, Life Extension supplements are complex nutrition made easy. So visit Good Health in Quincy and Hanover today. Ask about Life Extension's premium quality formulations, anti-aging as well as weight loss, hormone balancing, bone and joint health, heart and brain health, and so much more. Learn more about Life Extension products at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Then pick up your free copy of Life Extension magazine at your local Good Health store. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
When most people hear the word allergies, they think only of hay fever-like symptoms associated with airborne pollen, dust, and mold. But did you know that many experts estimate that between 60 and 80 million of us suffer from immune-related food allergies without even knowing it? Furthermore, food allergies often contribute to serious health problems such as autism, irritable bowel syndrome, ADD, headaches, and chronic ear infections. Now, there's an effective way to identify and eliminate both your food allergies and the troubling symptoms that they aggravate. Allotest Medical Labs at foodallergy.com offers a full complement of clinical, environmental, and food allergy testing to help you get to the root of your allergy problems. Allotest also provides you with a comprehensive rotation diet, lifestyle booklet, and a wallet card to help you live food allergy-free and stress-free. Do you wonder if you or your loved ones are among the 60 to 80 million food allergy sufferers in America? If so, log on to Allotest Medical Labs, foodallergy.com. Talk to your doctor about ordering a food allergy test from Allotest Medical Labs today. Foodallergy.com. Make sure the food you're eating isn't what's depleting you.
The brain requires nutrition just like the rest of the body. Although many of us depend upon caffeine for focus and concentration, caffeine is not actually a nutrient. Real nutrition is needed to enhance brain metabolism and provide antioxidant protection. This is where Jarrow Formula's Neuro Optimizer comes to the rescue. Neuro Optimizer is a concentrated source of the nutrients needed for memory and mood, for concentration and focus, all without being a stimulant. Neuro Optimizer supplies the building blocks for neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow cells in the brain to communicate and to file away memories. Acetyl L-carnitine and alpha-lipoic acid support brain energy production. Phosphatidylserine, L-glutamine, and taurine enhance brain stability and detoxification in the face of stress. Neuro Optimizer is the nutritional answer to the brain's needs. Ask for Neuro Optimizer at your local health food store, or for more information, go to jarrow.com. That's Jarrow for the best in brain health formulas.
96.9's new primetime lineup. Jim and Marjorie 6 to 10. Doug Meehan 10 to noon.
We're going to have some fun, people.
Michael Smerconish live noon to 3. And Michael Graham.
You let me ride home with you after work.
Now, afternoons 3 to 7.
You'll know a little more and have a lot more fun.
96.9 Boston Talks.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless uses free call, pound 96.9. We got some callers that we're going to tend to. Let's see, we go to Mike in Methuen. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, how are you?
Terrific, how are you?
Well, except for my shoulders, I'm excellent. They're talking about 2 shoulder replacements, left and right, and, you know, they cut the bone off and they throw it away. I asked if I could keep it for the dog. They said no. It's something I really don't want to do. You know, if it would be 100%, I'd do it tomorrow, you know, but if you can't lift anything, you can't do anything. I'm a pretty active guy, you know. So natural, something that's natural, it's an anti-inflammatory, because the stuff he's giving me is going to give me ulcers or heart attacks or strokes, you know.
Right. Well, a couple things here. First of all, you know, when you think about what you're going through, you know, you can target the area of trouble. Right now it's the shoulders, okay? And you can surgically take care of business there. But then you're still left with an entire body full of bones. And whatever your assembly line has produced thus far is likely to continue producing. Sure. So when I talk about assembly line, of course, I'm sort of referring to your chemistry. So when your chemistry is very predominantly acid-based, you know, from the wrong kind of foods, et cetera, you know, you want to basically buffer your chemistry a little bit better. I always suggest that you know, Good Health Natural Foods, one of our great sponsors, actually has these urinary nitrazine strips. They're 0.067 calibrated. They're really good pH strips, and they're calibrated in tenths, so they really measure quite accurately what your urinary pH is. And the range goes from like 5.5 all the way up to 8.0. The higher, the more alkaline, the lower, the more acid. Obviously, what you're looking to do is really cultivate more of an alkaline chemistry and to buffer the rest of those beautiful bones you got there, because you don't want to eat those up. So the objective is to urinate on those strips once a week from time to time, just to kind of peek in that first morning's urine. And it's color-coded and numerically coded. So you want to make sure you're between 6.4, 6.8. If it's a little bit on the higher side, not so bad. But you do not want to be in the 5s. To me, when you're in the 5s consistently, that suggests that you're producing a very kind of chronically acidic chemistry that's just going to keep eating the rest of those bones up. So I'd start there. You know, that you want to keep an eye on your pH.
Okay, and where would I get these things?
Well, again, Good Health Natural Foods is okay. And if you can't get on down there, they will send them to you. So Good Health Natural Foods is in Quincy and Hanover, and you can give them a call, and you can either get on down there, pretty easy to get to, or just have them send you the strips. They'll gladly do that. So you want to check those first morning's urine from time to time. Take a peek at those. You want to be between 6.4 and 6.8. Again, higher is not a horrible thing. Lower is, so you don't want to be in the 5s. And then to go back to what we talked about a little while ago, I think for inflammation and discomfort, the Zyflamend caps are about as good as it gets, and that's made by New Chapter. New Chapter Zyflamend, I'd say 2 of those caps twice a day, and you heard us talking a little bit about things like ginger tea and using turmeric and things like that, because, again, these produce COX-2 inhibitors. So it's amazing for us to think that inflammation and pain and a lot of discomfort to a great extent, actually is mediated at a lipid level, at a fatty level. And a lot of these foods have chemistries that manipulate those fats into a more anti-inflammatory direction. So I think we mentioned foods earlier, too. That's probably not a bad idea to cut down on the red meat, the yolks, the dairy, and the peanuts. And
all the things I eat.
All the things you eat, yeah. So the objective is to try to shift that chemistry around a wee bit.
Well, I got to get out to one of the stores. I'm in Methuen, so I don't know which one is going to be closer for me, but I'll Google it. I'll find out where they are.
Or I'll tell you what, that's great. And, if you have any trouble with any of that, you can go to my website. It's maxhealing.com. Pretty simple to get to. Max Healing is one word, maxhealing.com. And you fire me off an email, and I'll answer your questions.
Terrific. Thank you very much.
Good luck. Take care. All right, let's get to Diane from Saugus. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show, the Natural Health Show.
Yeah, hi. I'm curious about adrenal fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
I was had an MRI for my back, and they discovered I have two, they call them adenomas on my adrenal glands.
Yep.
And all the endocrinologist is doing is watching it. But I'm very tired, and when I asked her about it, she didn't seem to think there was anything that pertained to adrenal gland fatigue.
Well, I mean, if you have adenomas on those adrenal glands, if they've confirmed that, then that makes perfect sense that you would have some fatigue in that as a result of that problem, because the adrenals obviously are where you produce your adrenaline. I always tell people, imagine yourself on the top of a roller coaster, and when you're on the top of the roller coaster ready to kind of come on down, you're producing all kinds of energy, and all that burst of energy that you feel called adrenaline, or epinephrine, is clearly something that when you have adenomas on your adrenal glands is going to be impaired, so you're going to feel less of that energy. So real important, I think, to acknowledge that you probably have an issue there. The thing that I would recommend for that is, for your fatigue factor anyway, a couple things. There's something called Ribose. It's a pentose, a 5-carbon sugar. When I say the word sugar, don't get too nervous about it. It's really it's not a bad sugar, but it's in a supplement form, generally about 2,000 milligrams per serving. I'd recommend 3 of those a day. And the only other thing I think I'd recommend for you, too, would probably be something called vitamin B5, which is pantothenic acid. So vitamin B5 could be very, very helpful with you as well. I'd recommend 500 milligrams, 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. But I would say that you're right on the money. I think if you have a problem in those adrenals, they're going to definitely affect your energy. No two ways about it.
Well, she didn't want to hear it.
Oh, well.
But can those turn to cancer?
I think you probably better have that conversation with your physician. I think that you probably would be really wise to sit down and have a powwow and really kind of get some better dialogue than you've gotten so far. I always suggest that you have a great sit-down talk and a better dialogue with your physicians and your healthcare team, because after all, this is all about you. And that's the most important part. So you need to list your questions and make sure you get satisfactory answers.
What would cause the adenomas?
Well, again, there's an awful lot of possibilities there. Obviously, from my perspective, I think that it has to do oftentimes with years and years and years and years of incredible stress. Where something takes place often suggests why it's taken place. So your adrenals are obviously your stress glands, and obviously that's where you produce a lot of those hormones that react and respond to constant wear and tear and stress. So if there's been a lot of acute wear and tear and stress, that's where you're going to get hit.
Right.
All right.
So you recommend B5. What was the other sugar thing? Yeah,
pantothenic acid is really important for you, I believe. Yeah. A lot of great work that Adele Davis did writing about the importance of pantothenic acid in the adrenal glands to retonifying, strengthening them back up again. And the other thing I mentioned was Ribose, R-I-B-O-S-E, 2,000 milligrams, 3 a day. All right. I guess she vanished. And all right, Mike, we have somebody coming on the phone fairly soon. We're going to talk to one of our great guests here in just a moment or two, but I don't think we're quite ready. Do you have time for another call? All right, let's grab another call here. Let's go to, let's go to Barbara from Rockland. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show, the Natural Health Show.
Hi, Mark. I have a problem. I have a severe latex allergy, and I'm finding trouble finding things like calcium, and I have a vitamin D deficiency, so I've been taking vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids, and I'm allergic to all of them. And I was wondering, a lot of times the process is they use latex gloves in the factories, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that, where I could locate some that aren't touched with latex gloves.
You know what I think you need to do? You're talking about trying to work around your allergies to supplements, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a couple companies out there. There's one called Metagenics. If you kind of look for their 800 number, I don't have it in front of me right now, but if you Google Metagenics, and you'll get to their 800 number, and you contact them and ask them where a dealer nearby your home is, and you can get right over to a chiropractor's office or to an osteopath's or a nutritionist's office or a doctor's office, and because there are many practitioners out there that work with Metagenics, and they make a lot of hypoallergenic products and a lot of medical foods and things like that, so you might want to go that route.
Great, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. And let's see, where are we at? I think we're going to get to our guest, yes? No, we're
up to you. I was going to have you break at 41.
Break at 41, okay, so we'll take one more quick call maybe. Let's go to, let's see, how about Joan in Carr? Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show, the Natural Health Show.
Good afternoon. I would like to know, what do I do to get my metabolism going more?
Well, first things first, you've got to determine whether your thyroid is effective. Your thyroid
underactive.
It is underactive?
Yes.
Okay, well, you've already determined that then. Well, here's what I'd recommend. I recommend there's something called selenomethionine, S-E-L-E-N-O, selenomethionine, M-E-T-H-I-O-N-I-N-E, selenomethionine.
Quarter mile. Make it right? Yes.
And I would recommend 200 mcgs of selenomethionine. I'd recommend 50 milligrams of zinc gluconate.
Zinc.
Zinc gluconate, 50 milligrams. One more thing, there's something called Flora Vital, F-L-O-R-A Vital. Flora Vital is a food-grade, highly absorbable form of iron. I'd recommend 1 tablespoon of that a day, and you're going to have to give it about 6 weeks. Give those 3 things about 6 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, my pleasure. All right, now it's about that time, I would say yes. I would say so. All right, we've got Dr. Peter Martoni, owner of Martoni Chiropractic and Wellness Center in Lynnfield, Massachusetts. His mission is to make the North Shore of Boston the healthiest place to live on the planet. Has developed the interactive healing experience, which has been featured nationally on CBS News. And he's going to be talking about the Danvers Wellness Expo at Crowne Plaza, and that's coming up Friday, September 9th, with keynote speaker Dr. Jeff Spencer. So great take for everybody out there. And welcome, Dr. Peter Martoni.
Hey, Mark, let me tell you something. I'm very, very happy to be on the show, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
So, Dr. Martoni, tell us a little bit about the Wellness Expo that's coming up in Danvers.
Well, kind of as you said, we our mission is to make the North Shore of Boston the healthiest place to live on the planet. And just as yourself, you're an educator, and people need to be educated in what it actually means to be healthy. So we've put together, under one roof, the North Shore's finest, and we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So we have an expo, and it's more of kind of an education expo, where we have an expo in the middle with about 30 vendors, and then we have speakers going on one side. We have Zumba for seniors. We have 80 seniors signed up. We have yoga going on. We're showing Food Matters, Food Inc. So it's a kind of an education forum. It's our first annual Wellness Expo, and I'm really, really excited about it.
Oh, it sounds great. And tell us a little bit about Dr. Jeff Spencer. He's a pretty interesting guy.
Well, he's a really interesting guy. Dr. Spence has been Lance Armstrong's wellness coordinator. He's been wellness coordinator for this past Radio Shack's team at the Tour de France. He's been, the wellness director for the last 8 Tour de France's, and he's also, the wellness director for, I can't remember the exact Olympic teams, but I know he'll be at the London Olympics, taking care of those guys over there.
And he's going to be the keynote speaker, so we have a lot to learn from him. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he'll be talking about how to be your own champion, where health, like we hear you talk about so much. Health comes from the inside. It really comes from what your belief structure is.
Mm-hmm.
If you wake up in the morning, if you decide to have a cup of coffee or you decide to have a glass of water, that decision is going to either move you towards health or away from health. And I think the more education we can have to move ourselves in the right direction is it's just really going to take this no short to the next level.
You're absolutely right. One of my patients came in this week, said, I think there's a revolution going on regarding natural health and nutrition and whatnot. I said, I think you might be right about that. So that's probably a good word. But, speaking of revolution and information and remarkable changes that are taking place, you've been a great contributor as well. And I'd like you to speak a little bit about your interactive healing experience that was just recently featured nationally on CBS News.
Well, when people typically, it's empowering people with knowledge. So when people come into the office, or even when people walk into a chiropractic office, they think, okay, help me. Or if they go into an MD's office, take this pill. Well, it's not the pill that's going to do it. If I adjust somebody and they keep smashing the head off the wall, and then I adjust them and they keep smashing the head off the wall, if they don't address their lifestyle changes, like I heard a couple callers earlier, metabolism, adrenal glands, well, we are a product of our life's experiences.
Right.
So we've developed these conditions. So what we have to do is we have to kind of take a step back and look at, okay, what are your sleep patterns? How much water are you drinking? What emotional stress? Do you have goals? Have you set those goals? How do you react when somebody comes at you? Do you react from a defensive mechanism or from a more of a nurturing mechanism? Right. I mean, there are a lot of different types of things. So the interactive healing experience really looks at the whole individual, and systematically we talk about probiotics, we heal the gut, and then we just kind of work from the foundation level through the whole process. And I mean, we are just we're taking people's health to the next level. Maximizing human life potential is what we call it.
Right. Well, I think it's remarkable stuff, and I think that this particular expo is something that an awful lot of folks out there would would really, really enjoy tremendously. Take the time to get up there. And tell us about the time, the fee, and all that business.
So if you, so the time is next Friday from 11 o'clock to 5. The fee, if you buy it in advance at nscreatingwellnesshealthexpo.com, is $5. At the door, it's $10.
Wow, that's great. So it's going to be from 11 to 5. That is the Danvers Wellness Expo, Crowne Plaza Hotel, 50 Ferncroft Road. And that's $5, folks, Friday, September 9th. And you have a really rare opportunity to hear keynote speaker Dr. Jeff Spencer, Lance Armstrong's wellness coordinator. And he's going to be speaking about becoming your own champion. I love that title. That is great. And also, we want to hear a little bit more about how folks can get in touch with Dr. Peter Martoni and the great Chiropractic and Wellness Center in Linfield that you've developed. How can folks get in touch with you, and what can they expect by taking a peek at what you're doing up there?
It's to get in touch with me and to find out what we're doing, it's www.martonewellness.com. That's martonywellness.com. And they can also find us. We have a Ask Dr. Martoni Facebook page, so they can get online. If they're Facebook members, they can find us. They get a free Discover Wellness ebook just for signing up, and they can ask me any question at that point.
And are you going to be presenting at the Danvers Expo?
I will. I'll be presenting from 3 to 4. Dr. Spence will be presenting from 4 to 5, and then the itinerary we're going to be posting on Tuesday, which is this Tuesday. Oh, man, it's coming quick.
It is coming.
So the itinerary will be online, so people can get to nscreatingwellnesshealthexpo.com and check out that itinerary.
And your topic, Dr. Peter Martoni, will be what?
Will be why food labels are killing us. Really talking about, a lot of people are, so concerned with, how many calories is in this, how much sugar is in this, and I heard you talk about don't be afraid, it's good sugar. And, ultimately we get our energy from the sun, and looking more at the source of food versus the makeup of the food.
So that is Dr. Peter Martoni, and that topic is another fascinating topic as well. Folks, you're going to learn a great deal at the Danvers Wellness Expo, Crowne Plaza Hotel, 50 Ferncroft Road. That's going to be from 11 to 5, Friday, September 9th. And wow, September 9th. How could it be September 9th already? It's crazy. And keynote speaker Dr. Jeff Spencer, Lance Armstrong's wellness coordinator, presents Becoming Your Own Champion, and Dr. Peter Martoni will also present as well, and he'll be speaking about the importance of really reading food labels and knowing what you are eating, and that is extremely, extremely important stuff for everybody out there, and that should be a really super presentation. Once again, why don't you give your contact info one more time?
It's, my contact info is martonewellness.com, MARTONE wellness.com. And to get tickets, it's NS Creating Wellness Health Expo.com. That's North Shore Creating Wellness Health Expo.
And it's a great time of year to do that very thing, to get the family out. Now that everybody's kind of getting back down to regular scheduling, etc., summertime is drifting fast before us. And a great time of year to get out and to do things with the family like this and to really bump up that education and make the family a lot healthier. Thank Dr. Peter Martoni. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mark, for having me.
Thanks. All right, we're going to take a short little break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Friend us on Facebook. Link up at 969bostontalks.com.
Do you own or manage a natural health, fitness, day spa, or go green business? Perhaps you have a unique restaurant that offers healthy entrees, heart-smart seafood, vegetarian or lighter fare options. I invite you to share your vision and deliver your message directly to health-conscious New Englanders by becoming a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, New England's #1 health radio show. The Natural Health Show is now welcoming potential sponsors to join our natural health family by offering a number of creative and flexible sponsorship packages. For information on how to become a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, simply call Candida at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Be a part of New England's natural health revolution. Join our Natural Health Show family today.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. It's back to school again, and now more than ever is the time to think healthy. Nutrition experts know that 70% of the human immune system resides in the belly, so eating healthy and taking the correct probiotic is important. Don't be fooled by all those yogurt ads. The truth is, some yogurts do have small amounts of acidophilus, but they also have sugars and extra calories. There's no substitute for the real thing. Everyone in your family will benefit from probiotics. They improve digestion, metabolism, skin health, and general detoxification. Come see us in Quincy and Hanover. We're online at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Visit our children's sections and ask about Nature's Plus Animal Parade Gold Chewables with probiotics and vitamin D, and our delicious chewable greens for kids. Pick up some antibacterial products and eco-friendly lunch totes. This fall, protect your whole family naturally with Megaflora, New Chapter, and Renew Life probiotics. Good Health Natural Foods, where back to school is stress-free and affordable. Come by and see us today, and thanks for listening.
There's a fine balance between what's best for your landscape and what's best for your family. This is why Aspen Environmental Services of New England is proud to be an industry leader in the use of environmentally responsible products for outdoor pest control, tree and shrub spraying and injecting. Applications control Lyme disease ticks, caterpillars, adelgids, and 200 other pests that damage landscape. Visit the plant healthcare professionals at treeandlawncare.com. That's treeandlawncare.com. Or call 888-418-BUGS and mention Candida because listeners get a 10% discount. That's 888-418-BUGS. treeandlawncare.com. Get them before they get you. Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
Alrighty, welcome back. You know, we're a lot of folks. The word stress and adrenal glands has come up repeatedly in the show tonight, as they usually do each and every week, because it seems like everybody is stressed out these days and up against it. So there's so many different solutions we talk about. I just mentioned to one of the callers earlier about pantothenic acid, vitamin B5, which was written about extensively by Adele Davis. A lot of research out of UCLA back in the 60s and 70s about the importance of pantothenic acid, vitamin B5 for stress, and I talk often about holy basil as being really important as well. Holy basil is a great anti-stressing agent that helps mediate cortisol. A lot of research from overseas about that. But also, I wanted to mention, a lot of folks do know that I work at Santi Holistic Healing, and they have a new stress buster treatment. Yes, I said stress buster treatment. And Kirsty Robinson is the licensed muscular therapist who engages in this really rare treatment for the negative effects, neutralize the negative effects of stress from many different perspectives: reflexology, relaxation techniques, Reiki, Swedish massage, et cetera, et cetera. So anybody interested in really kind of getting to the bottom of their stress stuff, great idea. but you got to also work with it in a myriad of different capacities. So multiple strategies really important. Folks want to check in with that. Of course, they can go to our website, and again, you'll see that I'm a proud member of Santi Holistic Healing. So check that out. Let's get to a fast phone call here. We've got Mike from Roslindale. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks.
Thank you, Mark. I want to talk about mood, but first let me tell you, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm on a milk-free, dairy-free, wheat-free, yeast-free diet, no meat. I just eat fish and shrimp and boiled vegetables. In any event, my mood at night seems to be, I'm very frightened at night. I'm very worried, frightened, and anxious. And during the day, I'm calm, wonderful, life is great. And I'm just wondering what I can do dietarily and supplement-wise to stabilize my mood. I mean, I think I would be bipolar. I think that's what it would be, but I don't really believe in Western medicine, so I'm not going to take any medications.
Well, I mean, you certainly should have some assistance and some professional evaluation. You certainly want to, I think, at least sit down, like I always say, and have a good, meaningful powwow with your physician and see if you can't at least make sense of it in a way that satisfies you. But I mean, there certainly are things in the world of natural medicine that have been helpful with anxiety. And again, it sounds like it's only happening at nighttime. So you might want to think about using something like theanine, Theanine, theanine. Those are usually 200 milligram capsules. You may have to kind of start working into it, though. I think, in the later part of the afternoon, take 200 milligrams, and then in the evening before bed, take 200 milligrams. The other thing I think is probably really important for you to do, are you sleeping at all at night or what?
Mark, that's funny. My sleeping schedule is such that I don't work because I'm permanently disabled from the rheumatoid arthritis, so my circadian seems to float forward. In other words, I really tend to go to bed later every day and get up later every day, and it's been like that. And I try to maintain a regular schedule, but when I do get up early and I rob myself of sleep, the inflammation is so bad from my rheumatoid arthritis. The only way I can survive is to just let my body sleep as long as it wants to sleep, when it wants to sleep. So the circadian tends to be floating all the time.
Right. I might suggest that you check out our website and you get in touch with me. Our website is maxhealing.com. You get to my email address, etc., and maybe you and I can have a conversation about how we can help you a little more in detail. But you got a lot going on there. I'd be happy to try to see if I can't steer you in the right direction. So get to the website, and why don't you give me an email this week?
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, so wow, this goes fast, folks. It goes almost as fast as summertime does. So I wanted to make sure, too, that I did get the message out there that anybody interested in any issues that you didn't have an opportunity to discuss with us here on the Natural Health Show this evening, you can get to our website at www.maxhealing.com. Just one word, easy to get to, maxhealing.com. And you can get to my email address, etc., and you can fire me off some questions, and I'd be happy to get you some answers. So easy enough. Also, we want to make sure that you stay tuned for Woody and Abby and Right Turn Radio, of course. It's New England's #1 addiction program, great program. And we want to make sure that we have you on board here each and every Sunday, of course, because at 5 o'clock each and every Sunday, the best thing about the weekend unfolds right here on 96.9 Boston Talks, and it is the Natural Health Show. And we'd like to thank our producer, Mike Roberts, for doing a great, great job each and every week, of course, and intern Alex Todorovic, podcast and techmeister Adam Ing. Of course, thanks to Candida. And we want to make sure that you do get on that website. It's maxhealing.com. And until next Sunday, this is Mark Mincola reminding you all, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a healthy week. Good night.